Hello class, this is Mrs. Groves, and today we are going to be talking more about multiplying binomials. And there are two special cases that I want to bring to your attention. And you have two options with these special cases. You can either memorize the rules, which is on the top here, or you can just simply multiply the binomials and not memorize the rules. So first method is, let's just take these three examples down here and notice that we have this problem here, and it's x plus 9 squared. So if we expand it, and I recommend that you do this, okay? If we expand this, we're going to get x plus 9, x plus 9. I'll make this a little bit bigger. So we've expanded it. Now we're just going to multiply. X times x, x squared. X times 9, 9x. 9 times x plus 9x. 9 times 9 plus 81. And you simplify this, and your answer is x squared plus 18x plus 81. So if you expand it, then you're just going to do your regular multiplying of binomials. Now let's say that you're doing this problem for homework or on a test. Well, you don't have to write this out. You just can write right next to this x minus 7. Okay, so I've expanded it. And now I'm just going to do my regular multiplying. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times negative 7 is negative 14x. Negative 7 times 2x is negative 14x. Negative 7 times negative 7 is positive 49. I simplify my middle terms, and my answer is 4x squared minus 28x plus 49. All right, so what I'd like you to try to do is I'd like you to try to do the next one on your own. So pause the video and do this one. And now I'm challenging you because we have variables. So pause it, do it, and then come back. Welcome back. And so I'm going to just do my regular multiplying. 5r times 5r is 25r squared. 5r times s plus 5rs. Then I'm going to multiply s times everything in the parentheses. S times 5r plus 5rs. Notice I'm putting my variables in alphabetical order. And then s times s is s squared. So now I have to combine my middle terms, and I get 25r squared plus 10r RS plus S squared. So you should be noticing a pattern here between, and I think the easiest one is, let's look at number 2. If we have this, notice our first term is 4x squared. Okay, so 2x times 2x gives us a 4x squared. Notice that our last term is negative 7 times negative 7, so that's 49. All right, and then notice here that I got negative 14x twice. So that's why this is doubled. So let's go back. If you want to memorize the pattern, here is the pattern. Square the first term, square the last term, and do not forget that you have to multiply these two terms, A, B, and double it. So here, square the first term, square the last term. Notice negative b is squared, so it becomes positive b squared. You take a times negative b, which is negative ab, and you double it. Minus 2ab. Okay. Now here, we take the first term, x squared. Take the last term, 4 squared is 16. 4 times x is 4x. Double it, it's 8x. So here, we've got 3x squared is 9x squared. Negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. Double it. It's negative 12x. Now, I'm going to warn you that what happens is most students that don't expand these forget there's a middle term. So I think the easiest way is to do it this way, where we take this and we expand it to 2 binomials. All right. So let's just finish this up. We got 4x. We have to square that. This is positive. So I'm going to take plus 2 times 3 times 4x. So I have 4x squared gives me my 16x squared. 2 times 3 times 4 is 24x. 3 squared is 9. There's your answer. So this second problem, notice it has a negative sign. So we square the first term, we square the last term, and in the middle we are going to double 3x times negative 5y. So 3x squared is 9x squared. 5y squared is 25y squared. Now I multiply here, and I'm going to get negative 2 times 3 is 6, times 5 is 30, x y. Right? So you can either memorize these rules or just expand it into two binomials and you won't make any mistakes. So that's the first special case. It's called, the first special case is the square of a binomial pattern. So we are squaring this binomial. Now this pattern is really fun. Here is the sum and difference pattern. Right? So we're going to go through and do these problems by just multiplying the binomials. And you're going to notice something. Okay? So actually pause the video and multiply these binomials. You can do that. Just multiply these guys. Okay. So pause it. Welcome back. I'm going to work through these examples and we'll see how you did. Z times z is z squared. Z times negative 6z. 6 times 7 plus 6z. 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. Now notice that what happens with my middle term, negative 6z plus 6z, that cancels out to be 0. And I'm left with z squared minus 36. Z squared minus 36. If you got that, great. You're understanding how to multiply binomials. Okay. So now I'm going to multiply these. All right, so I'm going to get 16x squared minus 12x plus 12x minus 9. And notice negative 12x plus 12x cancels out. And I'm left with 16x squared minus 9. Done. The last one, x times x is x squared. X times negative 5y is negative 5xy. Multiply the inner terms, plus 5xy. Multiply the last terms, negative 25y squared. And again, these two terms are opposites, so they're going to cancel out to be 0. And I'm left with x squared minus 25y squared. All right? So are you noticing a pattern here? Notice that in every one of these examples, you have the same first term and you have the same last term, and the signs are opposites. When that happens, the middle term always drops out. So going back to these rules, I have the same first terms, the same last terms, and opposite signs. When that happens, I'm going to get a squared minus b squared. Right? Here I have x times x. That's going to give me my x squared. I've got 4 times negative 4. Okay, so notice my x's are the same, my 4's are the same, my signs are opposites. My middle term is going to drop out, and that's negative 16. So the last two problems, you don't need to do this step. Okay, I'm going to do these slightly different. I'm going to use memory bank. I got n times n. Well, that's going to give me n squared. Negative 3n plus 3n cancels out. And 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Done. Again, I'm going to use memory bank. 4x times 4x is 16x squared. I multiply these, I get negative 4xy, put that in memory bank, plus 4xy. Those terms cancel out. I multiply these, notice it's negative, so it's negative y squared. And we're done. So these are special cases, but you don't really have to treat them as special cases. Just know how to multiply binomials. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow.